I don't know if
listen.
Kakoti says you guys are here to change the scene and fill the voids. Let's go. Am I right, Lenny? That's what we're about.
Bro,
That's what we're about.
100%. Okay, listen. 3 years ago, you talked about a toxic environment. Like, we're not talking about toxic, right? Like, that's in the past,
Right.
right? Just that, like I talked about, like making mistakes, learning from it, doing it better. Well, you know what? We're gonna do it better, right? You show up, you just walk with us because we're walking with you.
Axel is on the wraparound here. Gets the first pick on Sway. Mindfuck, what are you doing? Special player is from Bangladesh. He is currently playing for the lineup of Exkili eSports. Please give it up for Sami.
Hello guys, thank you for having me. I've been in the South Asian scene for quite a bit, I think, for a year, I think, for the past year.
But yeah, tell us how the Exkili experience has been and what's the gaming scene like in Dhaka? That's what I was really interested to hear about.
Honestly, I'll start with Dhaka first. Like gaming scene in Bangladesh wasn't that big. When I was playing Counter Strike, like CS:GO, before I played Valorant, the gaming scene was very small. You know, like every Counter Strike player knew every other Counter Strike player. It was that
Right.
small. People I never imagined that would play Valorant played Valorant, and people came from so many different communities. Like mainly Valorant players have Counter Strike players,
Right.
but in Bangladesh the whole community has like Fortnite players, Dota players, League of Legends players,
Overwatch probably.
Overwatch, yeah, PUBG, like a whole mix
Right.
of
Right.
people.
How's your experience been with Exkili eSports?
So like at first the experience was pretty nice. Like it was nice to play back at home, and it was getting better because all of a sudden, our like owner of actually Arif announced that we're gonna have a boot camp. So which was
Right.
surprising.
What would you say is your biggest dream for Exkili? And you and the other guys, what would you say is the what is the one thing that you probably want to achieve as a team?
I would say that being the number one in South Asia and dethrone global esports and
Let's
become the
go.
king of the hill.
That's the
That
goal
would be the
right there.
dream.
Straight up.
Okay,
Favorite player in South Asia right now?
me.
Sami, let's go. That was the best response I've got to that question so far.
This is Sami, SS Sami from Exili Esports, and we will be playing the League Ego Championship 2021. And I hope you guys will watch that starting from December 1st.
My next guest playing currently for the lineup of Salt Esports, playing the League Ego Challenger Series this time, Mr. Beast from Salt Esports. What's up, dude? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
What is the gaming scene like in Pakistan and in Karachi?
In Karachi and in Lahore, I want to say in Karachi and Lahore, these are the two biggest cities in Pakistan in which esports is like quite big.
Right.
Other than, yeah.
Right. And that's because they are like the bigger metropolitan kind of
Yep.
cities. Can you tell us maybe the funniest or the strangest incident that you can remember from your esports career?
My old teammates pulled out a prank on me, and they told me that our teammates named Jivix left us, and I was so upset by that news. Uh, they made it, they even made a video of me, and I was sitting on a chair, and I was like, what to do next? It was quite embarrassing and funny as well.
But yeah, any teams from the League Ego Challenger series that you're particularly looking forward to playing against?
I want to say Exili because they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, they are. They are. How do you stay calm in a clutch situation?
Well, here's the thing. I don't. I simply don't.
Well said. And for this interview, I have prepared a little rapid fire set of questions. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Reina or Jet?
Right now.
Phoenix or Yoru?
Phoenix.
Best Valorant player in Pakistan right now?
Shooter. No cap.
Least favorite gun skin?
Wasteland.
Same. And even the other thing, the one that can see through thing. Why do they even make those? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Reaver or Prime?
River.
Vandal or Phantom?
Vandal.
Eco by Marshall or Sheriff?
Sheriff.
Killjoy or Cypher?
Killjoy.
Favorite map?
Ascent.
Alright. And map you hate playing the most?
Breeze, because I have Viper in it.
Brilliant, dude. That was a awesome rapid fire.
Hi, my name is Beast from Salt eSports, and we are participating in League Ego Challenger Series 2021. Please come and support us. Live stream will start from 1st December. See you guys there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the League Ego Challenger Series, and today we are live with the second quarterfinals. And this man, I always get this wrong. This man right here next to me, give it up for Ready Whipped. What's up, man?
Let's
Tyler?
go. What's up, dude? I'm excited. This is going to be a good night, and I'm looking forward to seeing these two teams really duke it out. Honestly, this is going to be some crazy matches, I hope.
Absolutely. So, folks, tonight it is going to be Salt Esports versus Reckoning Esports. Just to give you guys a quick overview, This is quarterfinal number 2. It's a big tournament, 32 teams playing for a prize pool of 1.5 lakhs, Tyler. 150,000 rupees.
Yeah, it's been over the course of this basically a month, and we've whittled it down. I mean, we started at 32. We've had teams drop out that we thought were going to get to the quarterfinals, but for some reason, just didn't. And I don't know if that's because we had some underdogs come in and just kind of kick them out or what, but here we are down to the final 8, and we get to see who's going to go to the finals here in a week or so. So it's going to be, the competition's going to be high at this point.
Yeah, and today's map pool, Tyler, interesting. We were just talking about it before, folks. It's going to be Ascent, Split, and Bind. And I've got something super interesting for us to look at here. For both these teams, we're looking at Salt Esports right now. They have the highest win percentage on Ascent. And I saw a very similar statistic for Reckoning Esports as well. It just makes me wonder, both these teams back themselves on the map of Ascent. We're going to have some some fighting unfolding in pretty much our map number 1 today, Tyler.
Yeah, what's interesting is if you look at Ascent, they have a 56% win percentage, but their attack and defense win percentage is very close. Very, very similar. But once you move on to Bind and Split, you see their win percentage start to go down and even out. And even dip below 50%. But look at their attack and their defense. The difference there is huge, and that might be because of the map. I know maps are split up differently. Attackers win most of the time, or defense wins most of the time on certain maps. But the difference there is big, and it's going to be really interesting to see because Reckoning Esports. If we could look at that real quick, look at their attack and defense differences. The only huge difference is on Ascent, but their win percentages are so much higher than Salt Esports. So it's gonna be interesting to see who actually pulls through because the agent composition is different, the win percentage is different. It's gonna be these teams play 2 different games, and so we'll see who goes.
Excited for this game, folks. The teams are more or less ready. We are all set to go. we can talk about agent composition and other fun stuff as well, Tyler, as soon as the match gets going. But do you want to go out on a limb and make a prediction for this game?
So if you're watching the stream right now, in our chat, in the stream chat, we have a vote going on that says who you want to win, and I voted for Reckoning Esports.
Right.
So we'll see.
Right. Interesting. And while we're speaking, I also want to speak about a couple of players that come to mind when I look at both these lineups.
Yeah.
Number one,
some big players.
Some big players. And we have to talk about, folks, you guys just saw me interviewing Beast a little while ago. Beast from Salt Esports. He's quite the player, Tyler. I mean, he's been maining Killjoy lately. And these are his stats from the last 60 days from valor.gg. An average combat score of 195.4. That's pretty impressive. An average damage per round of 137.8 and a headshot percentage of 25%. These numbers, and not just these numbers, but just his reputation that precedes this man. I'm excited to see him tonight in action. Hopefully we'll see something fun. We also have some interesting stats about Trist. And Trist is also
look at this, man.
Also happens to be a Killjoy main. I don't know what's happening today, Tyler. This is a Killjoy day.
I mean, these two might be trying to prove who's the best Killjoy in this tournament and really just in this region. You know, the average combat score of 209.8, not that much higher above Beast, but still higher. And you know, kills per round, first kills per round. We didn't get to see that from Beast, but you know, they might be trying to prove who's the best Killjoy.
I think so. It's gonna be a Killjoy diff moment. There are gonna be a few Killjoy diff moments today on stream, for sure. We'll talk about agent compositions as well. I wonder if we can have those slides back on for the agent compositions on the different maps that the teams have on there. And I'm looking at Salt Esports right now. So there's definitely a Killjoy on Ascent. It looks like the controller of choice on Ascent is going to be Astra. Jet.
Yep.
I mean, you can't miss a Jet in Ascent, obviously. You got a Sky and a Sova. So a double initiator lineup, which is very, very interesting. It does look like they have sacrificed a second duelist here, but I'm okay with that because I think the player on Sky is going to be sort of supplementing Jet and making sure that he's pushing onto site with that one duelist, trying to make sure that they don't feel the need for that second duelist. And if we can see a similar statistic for Reckoning Esports on Ascent, it's not...
Reckoning Esports, their composition, agent-wise, very different, but as far as role-wise, similar.
Right. Exactly. And interesting here that there's no Killjoy. And I'm interested to see that they've gone for a Cypher instead of a Killjoy. Tyler. And honestly,
I mean, is that Trist? Do we know if that's Trist playing the Cypher instead of Killjoy?
I think it might be because Killjoy is his main. So if he's not playing Killjoy, I'm guessing he will be playing the Cypher. But we're going to find out very, very soon.
I guess we'll see here in a second as we start.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the whole tournament, folks. 32 teams have been fighting it out. And now we're finally reached that place, the quarterfinals. And as you guys can see on your screens, it is the agent select. So
yes, and Trist is going with the Cypher. So, oh, wait a minute. He's changed to a Killjoy and he's locked it in.
He's gone Killjoy. Interesting. So maybe
they've gone for almost their entire typical agent composition on this map, except he has chosen Trist, and it looks like instead of an Omen, we have just a different composition from Reckoning Esports.
Right.
Similar composition though from Salt.
Right. And excited to see the double initiator set up once again. So they have both the Sova and the Sky. Astra is the choice of controller. Not surprised to see that. On the side of Salt Esports, Beast. Hang on. He's not on the Killjoy. He's gonna be Breach tonight. So
Breach.
Excited to see that. But Sahab is gonna be on the Jet. Darky is gonna be on Astra. Jivix is gonna be on the Killjoy, and looks like Stranger is considering that Sova pick. So on both sides, it looks like we have the exact same composition in terms of 2 initiators, 1 duelist, 1 controller, and 1 sentinel.
Right. This will be interesting. Here we go. Grizzly, quick pick before we get started.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go. Salt Esports, man.
Okay, we're on opposite sides. We'll see.
And it's only because of what I've seen from them lately. I mean, honestly, in the VCC, the tournament that they conducted recently, that Not Been Gaming was conducting recently, that allowed the teams to qualify for the last chance qualifiers.
That's true.
Salt Esports ended 5th. Arguably, it means that they're the 5th best team in South Asia. As per those stats.
That's true. So Reckoning Esports, I bet you they know that stat. And so we'll see if they end up being able to prove that they can beat the 5th best team in South Asia.
That would be something. And honestly, Reckoning aren't doing so badly themselves. I was just remarking that they have been grinding a lot over the past month or so.
Right.
Not all the results have been in their favor. They've lost out to a few big teams. I've heard that they qualified for Gauntlet, the TEC Gauntlet once again, which is obviously a big thing because the teams that participate in that tournament are among the best of the best. So. Reckoning not far behind, Tyler. They're right up there as well. Perhaps
they are.
Perhaps not at the stature of Salt Esports, but hey, I guess they can make a statement about that tonight.
Well, either way, we've seen Reckoning Esports play in our tournaments before, and they are a force to be reckoned with. So
absolutely,
it looks like there's some sort of pause on the match timer.
Right. It's probably a tech pause. Packet loss and stuff like that, just India problems, and I guess Pakistan problems as well. We're all the same, man. We're all the same. It's so funny that I was talking to Beast for my overtime with Grizzly, and he did mention this. He said that one of the biggest challenges we face is bad internet and electricity outages. And I was like, bro, that is the story of my life. Welcome to India.
If League Ego has learned anything, it's about outages and bad internet problems for our previous tournaments.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's not easy. It is what it is. But hopefully, we won't have too many of those today because we have some business to take care of.
Yes, and it looks like Darky on Astra is just placing down some of her abilities here just to get everything started here in 6 seconds. So the players are ready.
Looks like a straightforward A-sided push. No presence from Reckoning Esports anywhere else on the map. And take a look at this rush through A shot. Ayan fearlessly leading his.
This is an interesting play. Beast is there. Let's see if he's anticipating this.
So nice utility, but that is going to be the end. Ooh, he had to break that dog somehow. It has given Reckoning Esports an entry.
Right there.
And all of a sudden, Tyler, is down to just Jivix.
Yeah. Reckoning's planted, and it is just down to Jivix on the Killjoy. Let's see if he's checking his corners.
It's a big ask. It's a big ask. A 1v4 retake.
It is.
You've only got a ghost in your hands. How creative can he be here?
Okay, just trying to. Jivix right now is just trying to get an idea of where the enemy team's at, and it's too much. It's too much to ask, and Reckoning Esports taking the first round.
Amazing. And that's the best way to get going in a map like this. Reckoning Esports, that push down A short. Ayan, I mean, he wasn't worried about the audio cues, the sound, the audio signals he was giving to the team.
Right.
And honestly, I thought Beast would use a flash or two to save himself from that position. But he seemed quite okay with the aftershock. And then I think he didn't have the gun out in time when the Skydog was there. And the Skydog concussed him. And
he got stunned, and then all of a sudden they just turned the corner. So there's only so much you can do.
It was too easy from there on. Round number 2 looks like we're coming in with a full eco round from Salt Esports. And they got 2 players actually pushing A main, searching for a pick early on. Trist might be aware that this is the play.
And it seems like they're taking a conservative approach here, not trying to push anything too hard.
Right.
Looking at Beast, Beast gets taken out right in that hallway outside of A, and Salt Esports, or Reckoning Esports, excuse me. Once again, it's down to the Killjoy. It's down to Jivix. 1v4.
Need that back.
They did get a pick, so that's one less Spectre in the hands of Reckoning Esports. Now Jivix his objective here will be to just get as many kills as possible. Because
Might be encountering Paddocks here, but all he has is the default weapon.
he's just got the
He
classic.
doesn't have anything that Reckoning has, so...
That's right. This is a full save coming in from Salt Esports. So, like I said, it makes complete sense to try to just get a kill. You know, steal a Spectre, throw it out of the map, try to ruin the economy of Reckoning Esports.
He's going to have to deal with this Vandal that Reckoning Esports Bond has.
Right.
Let's see how he
It's
does
gonna
it.
be too much. It's gonna be too much.
Couldn't do it.
It almost felt like deja vu, Tyler. Once again, Jivix in a 1v4. What happened in the first map as well. And second round on the board for Reckoning Esports. Salt Esports quite happy with doing a full eco. And I think that's okay. And what this does, as you guys can see on your scoreboards now, is Salt is going to come in with a full buy, right? There's nothing left. I can see the Darky's got only half shields, but that's just because he couldn't afford it. But it's a full investment from Salt Esports. On the side of Reckoning, they're going to try and go in for a bonus. So they've only purchased Spectres again, or whatever Spectres they've carried forward from the previous round. And and they don't. And now Reckoning Esports want to see how many guns they can get out of the hands of Salt Esports.
You know, sometimes when you're facing a really, really talented team like Salt Esports, you have to just push the agenda. You can't sit back. You have to be super aggressive. And it seems like so far what Reckoning Esports is doing.
Exactly. This round, however, a very measured approach. Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Searching for information. Bond here with that flash in mid, not getting any info. They don't want to commit it to any side, Tyler, unless they're sure or they have some information. And now this dog did not spot. It did not spot the player in B main. I think it was Jivix. Yeah, I did not spot him.
Tough. A lot of Reckoning Esports players hanging out in main right now. Sova's putting out his drone while Astra tries to blind it, and they're going to find Stranger with the Odin as he shoots through the fog just to try and take out some of Salt's players.
30 seconds left.
He's not going to look behind him. He's not going to look behind him if he steps out.
He is not. And this could be the end for Stranger. It is.
There it is.
And that's a big pick because Stranger had the Odin on him, and I wonder if they can use that Odin against them in this round. A 3 versus 3 retake nonetheless now. Salt, Beast here. On a shot once again. He's still got a flash. He's got an aftershock. So he's got the utility they need. Suspecting that the player is still there. But no, Lucia has got to trade him out from a shot. Ooh.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Lucia almost had that triple. It's all down to Reckoning Esports. Ooh. There it is. Wow.
And this is a big win. This is a big round for Reckoning to win because they came in with 3 Spectres and just 2 rifles. But Salt Esports was actually on a full buy. So Salt Esports will feel a little hard done by that, Tyler. But once again, if you noticed, it was Jivix in the end in a 1 versus 3 situation.
It was Jivix. Just he seems to be the guy that he's gonna get to the end, and if he can make, I think what it's gonna come down to, and this is a you know, I might be wrong, but it might come down to him just needing to make a clutch play to motivate his team to really bring this back. And we're only 3 rounds in. It's nowhere near over yet.
Absolutely. And I also want to talk about Reckoning Esports' Ayan. Now this man, Tyler, I've seen him lately, even in the Gauntlet leaderboard, he has been doing really well. I think he was the 5th top fragger, like 5th best fragger. Or I think it was the MVPs. He was number 5 on the list. And number 1 was Deathmaker from VLT. And number 2 was actually Paradox from True Rippers. So both these players in really good form. Ayan there, just a display of that snappy aim, getting that headshot outside B main. A good, useful pick here from Jet with that Marshall putting it to good use.
This has been a mid battle this round so far. Let's see as both teams try and just kind of reset, get some strategy going, and it looks like Reckoning Esports is going to move over to A as Salt seems to think that they might be rotating to B.
It does look that way. It does look like that way. In fact, all players of Reckoning now outside of A, Darky seems to be aware. This is an eco round coming in from Salt Esports, so only a couple of sheriffs and a marshal. So if they can somehow get a pick or 2 here,
30 seconds left.
it could be huge. Reckoning Esports, 27 seconds, Tyler. Looks like the commitment is towards A side.
to. They're gonna have to. I'm really interested to see what this Soba does with the Marshall. One
Ooh,
kill.
gets big, gets two.
Kills.
Darky, what are we watching here?
Last
Oh!
player standing.
It was so close. Down to Jivix once again.
If he can stop this plant. If he can stop this plant.
He has to rush the plant. He has to. Oh, okay. We'll see how he plays it. All right. Addix is gonna have to peek. Good dart.
Ooh, good presence of mind from
He was
Jivix.
able to hide though.
Oh!
What a headshot.
go.
They're gonna
Let's
take this
go.
round.
It is a thrifty round in the bag for Salt Esports, and finally Salt Esports getting off the mark with the first
Grizzly,
round of the
what
board.
did I say? What did I say?
I'm telling
Jivix
you,
was
man.
gonna have to make a clutch play to bring it back, and they are doing it.
You've got the golden tongue tonight, Tyler. You got. I had the caster's curse yesterday because I was talking up Sami big time yesterday, and Seth was like, dude, you cursed him because he had a bad day, and SCD actually ended up losing. So I'm not even gonna say anything about any more players, Tyler. I'm gonna hand that baton over to you because
Hey,
obviously
it sounds good.
obviously you have the luck's on your side. But 3-1 on the score. That's exciting. Salt Esports registering the first round, and check it out. But Sahab has picked up an operator.
Yeah, and you were talking about Ion Q from Reckoning Esports. 6-1 right now. 6
Yeah.
kills, 1 death. I mean, he is living up to the hype.
He's looking really good.
And he's taking on 2 right now in Darky and Stranger. Darky with the shock dart that Ion Q is able to dodge.
I'm not even kidding, but there's
Stranger continues to push.
someone in chat is actually like, Ayan is one of the best jets in Southeast Asia. Now that's a big claim. That is big claim. But hey, Ayan, I mean, he has been in splendid form lately. Excited to see him pop off in the Challenger series as well. Very cagey approach this time around.
That.
Right.
What was that?
A very cagey approach from RGE this time around.
It
I
is.
think they're being very careful about momentum. They do not want momentum to shift because they started this match off really well. 3 rounds in the bag, and Salt Esports pulling that one out. I mean, a thrifty win, that's gotta hurt, man. That's gotta hurt, especially when you have a full economy.
Yep, and Jivix may have to take on 4 players from Reckoning
30
Esports
seconds left.
as they come and try and do a B push here without Ion Q. And now here comes the rotation.
That's interesting. So used a couple of flashes and then running towards A site.
It doesn't look like Salt Esports has fallen for it though. They're going to make it there the same time that Reckoning is.
The
Here
plan,
they come as they plant.
the plan does go down though, and this is helpful. Reckoning Esports, I would say that was a successful fake because they pretty much got sight without a fight.
They did, yeah. Salt Esports just got there slightly too late and they weren't able to stop them.
LFT picking off Jivix, the clutch man is gone.
They're going to have to get in there quick.
Beast jumping in, a good pick. 2 versus 2
Just
now,
has to
Tyler.
take on Q.
One enemy remaining.
Ooh, there's still a player on site. It's Lucia, and Ayan will be there to finish it off. And Reckoning Esports. I mean,
Well done.
let's talk about that for a second. Number one, what a fake that was from them. They even used a sky flash the second before they began that rotation. So whoever's
Right.
calling in this team, I mean, props to you, man. That was a brilliant rotation. Salt, I don't know if they expected it, but hey, RGE was planting before anyone could even reach site, and from there on, it was just pretty much a straightforward retake. Well done, Reckoning Esports registering round number 4 for themselves.
And you were absolutely right about Reckoning Esports not wanting to lose momentum. After that Jivix clutch, I think they knew they needed to regather, reestablish what they were doing, and they did. I mean, they didn't choke at all.
Absolutely, and what is Batsahab doing here? Hang on. A very bold push coming in from Batsahab, and looks like Salt Esports just trying to force the issue a little bit. It's an eco round, but they're going out for those gunfights.
Yep, and they might be getting into something here outside of. There's a shot. They might be getting into something here outside of B.
No.
Oh, B's able to take someone out, but gets taken out right after. Let's see. Jivix might be able to encounter Bond. Picks up a Phantom.
Well, I guess Salt might be happy with this so far. A couple of picks, and that's more than what they would have really wanted. Jivix, like you rightly pointed out, now has a Phantom in his hands. Does he go for the save? Does he go for the round? He's past Lucian mid. He's past Lucian mid, and now he could possibly catch Trist off guard. Not with that turret, though. Not with that turret.
And there it is.
Clean and easy from Reckoning Esports.
Man.
Tyler, I think I'm gonna have to eat my words tonight. Reckoning Esports. Hang on, this is a show. They're putting on a show. 5-1. Salt Esports struggling to find their form a little bit, perhaps.
Well, and you know, talking about the stats that we were looking at earlier, Reckoning Esports has a 62% win percentage on Ascent. But what's interesting is their attack win percentage is only 40%.
Right.
And so with them attacking right now and doing so well, it's hard for me to say that they will lose this map. I'm thinking, if I'm just looking at the stats, Reckoning Esports has this.
So basically, the Reckoning does really well on defense in Ascent. Is that what we're saying?
They do really well on defense, and the fact that they're doing so well on attack just tells me that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a little bit worried here if I was a Salt coach or fan, maybe.
Yeah, you might want to start really hoping that your team can pull through here. But once again, I mean, number 5 in the VLC, so anything could happen.
Ayan has been taken out here in that early fight outside of A, so Reckoning is a player down. 4v5 man disadvantage towards Salt Esports. But Sahab has picked up a very, very interesting position. He's in Wines outside of A main, and if this over drone does not spawn, he might get a pick or two here. Reckoning Esports.
Yep, it looks like an A push again.
Getting it
by Reckoning Esports.
Huge pick on Beast here as the raw stopping power of Salt Esports now reducing, and now Trist will catch Darky off guard, and he knows exactly where the next 2 players are, but Salt Stranger is going to come out down. Right, and the plan's going to go down as well.
Spike planted.
Ion Q taken out. It's gonna be hard now, but the clutch man Jivix might be able to do it. He's gonna set up his Killjoy.
The lockdown coming in now, and now this is going to be interesting because Reckoning Esports, they don't have an ultimate to defend against.
They don't.
Oh,
Astra had to get out.
And what an ultimate this is! What an ultimate this is from Stranger. I think he just didn't know the defuse is on. Hang on, the defuse is done.
Defuse. That was a fantastic lockdown by Jivix on the Killjoy. That was what needed to happen.
What a play. What a play that was from Salt Esports. A much needed round. 5-2 now. Can they stop this tide? Just a little bit. Salt Esports registering the second round on the board. I mean, that lockdown from Jivix, perfectly placed. It forced both the players of Reckoning Esports out of sight. And these guys didn't even bother going for the gunfights after that. They were just like, you know what? We just want the round.
No. Yep, just take it. And the fact that Ion Q got taken out right before the lockdown was placed was huge.
Right. Ooh, looks like this is going to be another fake, Tyler. Take a look at the players in B, showing a lot of presence from Reckoning Esports. But the spike is actually outside A, and 3 players
and they're
there.
just waiting.
And they're not going to show
They're
any...
just waiting. The 3 of them over there for Reckoning right now. Lucia, who is it? Paddix, and Ion Q just waiting to see if Trist and Bond can cause enough sound over there at B to get the team to fake. Salt Esports not falling for it, though, standing their ground, even rotating over to A with most of their team just to see if they can pull it off.
Now, this might change things. This might change things, yeah. This is a fake ultimate, Tyler. Check this out. Trist has committed a lockdown on B just to convince Salt Esports that they're not going A, but like you rightly said, they have not fallen for it. Out comes the rolling thunder from Beast. Can he capitalize? No, he falls back.
No, he can't.
30 seconds.
He can't. Iron Q able to get out of it. Beast is gonna have to take him on by himself. He's in A short, and he's just around the corner. all of a sudden, oh, what a good shock. It's not going to be enough.
Just getting taken
all
down as well.
so-
Stranger's got quite some work. Ooh, the turret spots him as well, and now this could be curtains for him.
He's got one under him, one across from him, one to the right.
Gets one.
He's able to take NQ. Takes out the bot. Watch your back, my friend.
He needs to watch A main. He needs to watch A main. Ooh!
Able to take him out. One left.
He gets that as well.
Is he able to get it? Does he have enough time?
I think he's good.
Gets it with 1 second left. What a clutch by Stranger.
What a clutch that was. Now this is more like the Salt esports that we know, and some fight in both these players. Jivix first clutching rounds, and now Stranger coming in and making an impact as well. Looks like a timeout, and a much needed one perhaps for Reckoning esports. They don't want the momentum shift to set in at all.
It's a huge mental game because Stranger just came in with a clean clutch. I mean, he was able to take him out 1, 2, 3, took out the bot, and then get the defuse at the last second. So what Reckoning's most likely talking about now is like, hey, we need to just mentally reset. Let's not get too hyped up. Let's play our game. We came in here with a game plan, and let's just execute it. And yeah, they don't want to get taken over by Salt. They want to prove that, hey, we can play with these guys too.
Agreed. And like you said, 5 rounds on the board as well already, and they must be feeling confident that
right, because that's not to say, I mean, Reckoning esports, they're a great team. I mean, so that's not to say that they need to prove anything. They have proven themselves time and time again. But yeah, they want to make sure they stay in this.
Absolutely. Salt esports though, what are they telling each other in that timeout? Salt esports.
I think they build off the hype. So while Reckoning esports is trying to calm down their hype and calm down their emotions that they're feeling, Salt esports has to feel hyped after that exchange, and so they want to build off of that and play off of that, and they're going to push really far up, and it may not go well for.
It did not work out
Salt.
for them.
We'll
It was a bold move. It was a bold move. I like the element of surprise. Just didn't win enough gunfights there for that to work. They could get LFT. Nah, Paddock should have been taken down
not
there.
able to do it. Yep.
How is
see if
that
he's
man
able to
still
do it.
alive? How is he? That
Wow.
Paddock is having a good day, Tyler. He's having a lucky
straight
day.
there.
The kind of lucky days that I never have in Valorant. That's what he's having.
Spike planted.
Scanning ahead.
And we'll see if Stranger can pull off another one. This is a 1v4, so this is going to be harder. It's going to be a few more angles to check. One extra person to take down. Gets spotted just barely by that bot.
I think you gotta save. Honestly, at this point,
Yeah,
one
he's
versus four.
got to just go.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got 36 HP on that armor. Honestly, he might just be able to buy a gun for a teammate next round. So yeah, I think this is a good call. I wonder if Reckoning wants to hunt him though. Nah,
Doesn't look like they're gonna try. They're gonna let him get away. They're gonna say, "Hey, go tell your friends not to mess with us."
and I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Sixth round on the board for Reckoning, and Tyler, it's time to talk magic number, baby. It is time to talk.
I was wondering when you would bring that up. I was wondering.
You know it. So the magic number. Let me explain it. Right? Let me explain.
You explain it. I mean, this is your thing.
Let me explain it to our viewers. Let me explain it to you. So the magic number is the number of rounds that the attacking team on any map in the first half wants to win so they can feel comfortable about defending it in the second half. So basically, it's the number of rounds you want to win at halftime as the attackers. And this number is different for different maps, right? Because Ascent, now, I feel personally Ascent is more balanced than other maps in Valorant, like Split, for example, which is heavily CT sided. On a map like Ascent, honestly, 5 is good. I think 5 is good. I think you can from a scoreline of 5 to 7 when you're down at halftime, I think you can back yourself and your team to defend in the second half, because it's a little bit CT sided.
It is, and I thought you were going to bring up the magic number when Reckoning was at 5,
Right.
but it looks like big B push. This is going to be the first big B push we've seen all match. So I'm interested to see if Reckoning sticks with it as Jivix comes over to help. Stranger takes one out. Jivix takes Ion Q out.
Those are two big
Now
picks.
here comes the rotation from Reckoning.
And those were two big picks. But take a look at Butt Sahib. He is waiting for them. He's going to roll out the red carpet on his side, honestly. Take a look at this.
Here we go.
Ooh, his position is now compromised.
Yep. Oh. And it just might not be enough. Lockdown coming in from Reckoning. This is going to be tough. This is going to be really hard. Yeah, he has to get out of this lockdown.
I think Reckoning have done brilliantly to recover from that initial 2 picks. I thought Salt was doing such a great job of defending B site, and there you go. Once again, the call is to save both these rounds, both these guns. And you know what this means, Tyler, is that this is going to be round number 7 for Reckoning Esports.
And the switch is going to come in, and I think it's going to be very hard for Salt Esports to come back, especially since, like we talked about earlier, Reckoning Esports is actually better at defending on this map than they are attacking.
Right. So they might. I mean, they would have been comfortable with 5 rounds in the bag, let alone 7 already, and we've still got two. We've still got 2 rounds to go in halftime, so they could win more. I'm worried for Salt Esports, Tyler. I'm just a little worried.
I thought that last round when Salt got those 2 great picks in the beginning, I thought, okay, they're going to be able to take this one. But yeah, Reckoning just had some great calls there, and Salt just, I mean, I personally don't think they pushed hard enough.
Right.
I don't think they did.
And again, props to Reckoning once again for who's their call man. I want to know who calls those shots, because the decision to rotate after losing a couple of players, you might think that, you know, it's a huge disadvantage, but they made it work.
Right. They did, and I think it's worth noting that I don't believe, unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe that they have a coach in this game, and so
I don't believe they do. Yep, I don't believe they do.
It might be one of them.
I guess. I mean, respect, man. Respect. I mean, he's doing a great job so far. This round, once again, Jivix walking outside of B main to get a sense of what's happening. He had shots fired at him. He didn't lose any HP. And I think he knew that there were players camping outside of B, and that is not the move for them. So falling back immediately, making sure that this round... I mean, Salt Esports, let me just put it this way, Tyler. Salt Esports cannot afford to lose this round. They cannot afford to lose this round. Couple of players here, Bondef as well as Lucia, taking control of mid completely, and Salt Esports very happy to give them that much freedom, sticking to those sites.
Here's something that it's too late now because we're about to switch, but it looks like Reckoning Esports play the entire time has been fake B with 2 of us and then wait for the strong rotation.
It does look that way. It does look that way. And once again...
And we'll see. Here comes Jivix up top in heaven.
And guess who are the last 2 players who need to clutch this round once again, Tyler? Jivix and Stranger again.
Jivix and Stranger. They're the clutch players, I think, on Salt.
It's part of the job description, I guess. Must clutch rounds.
And honestly, 2 great agents to be able to do it, too. So we'll see.
Right.
Jivix jumps down. Is he going to look behind him?
Gets traded out by the player in A main, but the trade was not there. The reverse trade was not there from Stranger, and Trist will clean things up for Reckoning Esports. 8-3, and now we are at the last round before halftime. Things are
look
looking
at this.
strong.
3 ultimates for Reckoning, none for Salt, and so it's looking like this round as well is going to go to Reckoning, if I'm just basing it off of that.
And Salt Esports economy is not looking very healthy right now. They got 3 Spectres, they got a Marshall, they got an Ares, not a single S tier gun in there. There's not one Vandal, there's not one Phantom. So that's troublesome for Reckoning, for Salt Esports. And Ayan here with the operator. Finally, we were thinking. I was wondering why we haven't seen an op yet. Ooh, Daki doing well with
He tried to take on the 3, but once again, Reckoning Esports play. Hey, a couple of you go fake B while the rest of us wait till we can get on A, and it's happening again. Ion Q popped the ultimate, has the op, and they're going to be able to get this plant down.
It's down to just Jivix once
Look who it
again.
is.
It is Jivix once again. I think they're asking a lot from this man every single time. 8-3. A lot is on the line here. A 1 versus 4 clutch. He doesn't even have a rifle.
Doesn't have a shot. Yep.
Halftime scoreline, folks, is 9-3 to Reckoning Esports. Can we talk about how brilliant these guys have been in that first half, Tyler? I mean, precision. They're winning more gunfights. Ayan has been unstoppable. 18-6 right now. I think he's really feeling himself. He's really feeling himself. On the side of Salt Esports, Stranger leading the charts with 9 and 8, Tyler. But honestly, I think a lot more. I think they need a lot more than what we've seen
They
so
do.
far.
There's just a huge gap, honestly, between the KDA of Reckoning Esports and Salt. And listen, for all you Salt fans out there, we want a great match. I don't think Grizzly or myself are biased towards either of these teams. So we just want a great match. And so we're hoping that as Salt switches over to attacking, that they're able to really pull something out here.
I agree. Pistol round is going to be important. If Salt Esports can drop a couple of kills here on A site and really start to open things up, and I think a lot is going to be riding on how But Sahab is going to help with the entry frags. He is on the jet. Beast with the breach honestly hasn't really made the impression that I was hoping he would in this match so far. So maybe this second half we will really see more aggression from them. On the side of Reckoning Esports though, Ayan 18-6, Bond F 10-6, Lucian 9-2. I mean, I think
Huge.
every one of them is just playing pretty well if you look at those KDAs.
And look at the way that Reckoning's playing defense right now. Nice and spread out, not moving around, not trying to search, just waiting. Just to see, not really giving them much area at all.
Nice little trap setup here for But Sahab in mid between Bond F and Ayan. Ayan is going to come face to face. But Sahab gets the first pick. Instantly traded out by Bond F. Jivix here gets another pick.
Jivix has to be careful because it looks like Trist is going to be coming up behind him, and there it is. All right, it's just down to Trist right now.
Now he's got a ghost and they're low on HP. Both players now low on HP. 36 and 4.
And Beast and Stranger hold it down as Jivix rotates around. He's going to have to check to his left. Takes out one.
Literally,
Right
the turret will
boxes.
kill him, Tyler. I'm not even kidding. That's how low Beast is right now. And there you go.
Shoot the box and get. Oh wow, that was slightly toxic.
Some BM in the chat, folks. But Reckoning Esports, honestly, Salt should have won this round because they had the 2 versus 1 advantage in the end.
Yeah, they should have. And that.
That is
It looks
unfortunate.
like they
Salt.
may be calling for a technical pause.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell what they were saying in the chat there.
Now, you've lost 9-3 in the first half, and then you lose the pistol round, and
You lose the pistol round, and
that's gotta
oh
be
man,
that's gotta be a blow. That's gotta be a blow. I mean, what do you tell yourself? What do you tell your teammates? How do you motivate yourself from a point like this when you're being?
well, before we get into that, I mean, you were talking about Reckoning feeling themselves. I mean, if Trist right there at the end shooting Breach's dead body is anything, it's feeling yourself. I mean, he is feeling himself, and honestly, if you're Salt Esports, in a game like this, you can come back. I mean, it's 3-10. You're losing. You're down 7 rounds. This game is not over, and I think it's just a matter of not giving up. Whoever their coach is, their coach has to be telling them, "Hey, let's not give up mentally. Like we have to stay in this because it's still possible."
Agreed, and that's such an important thing because this is a best of 3, folks. So even if they do lose this game, they've got a couple of more maps to go and they could always fight back. And so you want to just put in that strong performance here just for the moral boost, you know what I mean? Just for the boost so you don't get weighed down by the fact. Oh, and Jivix here getting a pick early on. This is helpful, but Lucia will trade them both, and
Lucia comes in right away. I'm interested to see what Ion Q here does because
One enemy remaining.
Oh, doesn't have to do anything.
Because Bondef has got his
Do
back.
anything.
Bond's got his back, and now Stranger, last player. He doesn't even have.
him.
He doesn't even have a sheriff.
Even if he gets that one, Ion Q was right behind, and there was not a shot. Not a shot at all.
11-3 on the scoreboard. Reckoning Esports are starting to make this look easy. I'm not gonna
Here's
lie.
a question. Here's a question for you, right? Because do you think that the play styles of these two teams are just so different that it's just inevitable that this would happen? Do they play two different games so much so that it's like they just play to each other's weaknesses?
Honestly, for me, it has felt that Salt Esports just haven't gotten out of bed. You know what I mean? Reckoning Esports have come into this game from round one. They've shown the initiative. They've been aggressive with their peaks. They've been super well coordinated. And I just felt like Salt Esports was a little bit behind. But hang on. Beast
taking out IonQ and Bond real quick.
with a Colat kill. I think these guys heard what I was saying, Tyler. Because that push into A site was ferocious, to say the least.
Ferocious. We want Salt Esports to prove us wrong here. That was aggressive. I felt that, and I'm not even in the game.
It was the Rolling Thunder and a Colat kill for Beast.
Look
Let's
at
go.
that. Yep. Their Astra gets taken out. Beast is kind of going, well, beast mode. Oh, gets taken out by Triss, not able to hold on.
No, Lucia getting a kill. No way. Did RGE? Oh my god. This was just a bonus round. They did not have. Oh my god. Reckoning Esports.
And
Impressive.
just like that, it's match point.
Impressive to say the least. Tyler, they did not come in with full buys. Reckoning was on the bonus. And honestly, Salt Esports were much better equipped. They had the man advantage on his side. But Reckoning seems to be making this work round after round. And like you rightly said, it's match point Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, and for Salt Esports to have to come in, I mean, they have no shot, or no choice, rather, to come into this match just with Spectres. And it looks like one Phantom, it looks like. Not a Phantom.
It's a Guardian.
But the Guardian, that's right. You have to play match point with that. I mean, you can't feel great.
You cannot. And they're trying to force the issue here. Dashing onto site is Bud Sahab.
Reckoning still being safe. I mean, they're still trying to gather info. They're not pressing in too hard.
Because exactly like you said, Tyler, they're probably telling each other, hey, these guys are on an eco and they're panicking just a little bit. So let's just hang on and do this retake together.
Absolutely.
Bondef starting things off with a nice little pick on the lurker. Darky, who was trying to come out from ace shot. Now, a 5 versus 4 retake. Couple of players under heaven.
Stranger, revealing area. Finds two, tries to take him out with the Guardian, but just can't handle difference in the weapons.
Is this the
And here comes the
GG?
defuse.
This is the GG.
It's the GG. There it is.
Defenders win.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow.
That was quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie. It is 9:15, Tyler. It is 9:15. That took less than 45 minutes.
Reckoning Esports, for every, in every sense of the word, domination. To win 13-3, they were just better. They were just better. But listen, hey, we still have 2 maps left.
We do. So, folks, if you are a Salt Esports fan, do not be disappointed. Because there are going to be a couple of more maps. But I want to take a look at the scoreboard. Are you looking at this, Tyler? Ayan is on 20-9 right here. An average combat score of 343. I'm just going back to that slide we saw of their performances on Ascent. Was it 62% win rate? I guess you can add one more to the number right there.
Yeah, add one in there. Maybe that pops them up a percentage. But they are adding to that percentage right now because they proved like, hey, we win this map. This is our map, and we take it. And they did.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. We're being treated to something special from Reckoning Esports. I'm excited to see them. The next map is going to be Split, Tyler. Excited for that one, folks. don't go anywhere. We're gonna be jumping into a real quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna be live with map number 2. So don't go anywhere.
Let's go.
I don't
Yeah,
know
listen.
if Kakoti says you guys are here to change the scene and fill the voids. Let's go. Am I right, Lenny? That's what we're about.
Well,
That's what we're about.
100%. Okay. Listen. 3 years ago, you talked about a toxic environment. Like, we're not talking about toxic, right? Like, that's in the past,
Right.
right? Just that, like I talked about, like making mistakes, learning from it, doing it better. Well, you know what? We're gonna do it better, right? You show up, you just walk with us because we're walking with you.
Axel is on the wraparound here. Gets the first pick on sway. Mindfuck, what are you doing? Special player is from Bangladesh. He is currently playing for the lineup of Exkili eSports. Please give it up for Sami.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me. I've been in the South Asian scene for quite a bit, I think, for a year, I think, for the past year.
But yeah, tell us how the Exkili experience has been, and what's the gaming scene like in Dhaka? That's what I was really interested to hear about.
Honestly, I'll start with Dhaka first. Like, gaming scene in Bangladesh wasn't that big. When I was playing Counter Strike, like CS:GO, before I played Valorant, the gaming scene was very short, small. You know, like every Counter Strike player knew every other Counter Strike player. It was that
Right.
small. People I never imagined that would play Valorant played Valorant, and people came from so many different communities. Like, mainly Valorant players have Counter Strike players,
Right.
but in Bangladesh, the whole community has like Fortnite players, Dota players, League of Legends players,
Overwatch probably.
Overwatch, yeah, PUBG, like a whole mix
Right.
of
Right.
people.
How's your experience been with Exkili eSports?
So like at first, the experience was pretty nice. Like it's nice to play back at home, and it was getting better because all of a sudden, our like owner of Exili Arif announced that we're gonna have a boot camp. So which was
Right.
surprising.
What would you say is your biggest dream for Exkili? And you and the other guys, what would you say is the what is the one thing that you probably want to achieve as a team?
I would say that being the number one in South Asia and dethrone global esports and
Let's
become
go.
the king of the hill.
That's the
That
goal
would be the
right there.
dream.
Straight up.
Okay,
Favorite player in South Asia right now?
me.
Sami, let's go. That was the best response I've got to that question so far.
This is Sami, SS Sami from Exili Esports, and we will be playing the League Ego Championship 2021. And I hope you guys will watch that starting from December 1st.
My next guest playing currently for the lineup of Salt eSports, playing the League Ego Challenger series this time, Mr. Beast from Salt eSports. What's up, dude? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
what is the gaming scene like in Pakistan and in Karachi?
In Karachi and in Lahore, I want to say in Karachi and Lahore, these are the two biggest cities in Pakistan in which esports is like quite big.
Right.
Other than, yeah.
Right. And that's because they are like the bigger metropolitan kind of
Yep.
cities. Can you tell us maybe the funniest or the strangest incident that you can remember from your esports career?
My old teammates pulled out a prank on me, and they told me that our teammate named Jivik.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And Tyler, what did we just
Hopefully they can hear us.
What did we just witness here, dude? Reckoning Esports coming on and putting on a fine display. Assault Esports losing out.
It was a shock to me just to see Reckoning just kind of run away with it. But Split is a very different map than Ascent. Do you think that Salt Esports is going to be able to come into Split and play it their way and kind of control the play field to their advantage? Do you think that they're able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the stats right now, and for Reckoning, we saw that Ascent was their number 1 map. The number 2 map is Bind, and number 3 map is Haven, which suggests to me that Split is not one of their stronger maps, right? And this is just based on the facts on the stats that we see on screen.
Right. So is our audience are they looking at these stats right now?
They're looking at the Reckoning Esports stats right now.
Great. So if they're looking at that, I want everyone to take a look at their third best map is Haven with a 32% win rate. Okay. Split, what that tells me is Split's lower than that. They don't win Split 32% of the time. They actually win it lower. And so this gives a huge advantage just stat wise to Salt Esports. So I'm hoping that Salt Esports is honestly able to do the same thing that Reckoning just did to them, and we go to a third round.
Exactly. And we talked about those 2 key players, Trist and Beast from Salt Esports. I did get the feeling, Tyler, that Beast wasn't having the best game of his life, or he's not in the best form of his life right now. I don't know if it's a state of mind thing that he just needs to tell himself that, hey, I'm one of the best out there and I just need to back myself. On the side of Salt Esports, that might help them. But Trist seemed to be pretty much on point. But I think the standout player so far in this match has to be Ayan on the side of Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, he's gonna be a huge part of their success if they're successful. On the flip side of that though is he's gonna be a huge part of their demise. At the same time, if they end up not doing well, because he just plays such a crucial role in their team. And so if they do well, he's going to play a huge part in it. If they do poorly, I'm willing to bet that we see a KDA from IonQ that's not really indicative of his level of play, honestly.
I agree. And so we looked at Reckoning stats and that, Tyler, like you rightly pointed out, Split's nowhere on there, and they obviously have a lesser win percentage than Haven. But for Salt Esports,
yeah, Split is on their list of their top 3,
and the win percentage for them on Split is 44%.
Right, not the best win percentage in the world. I mean, let's be honest, but it's in their top 3. They win Split 44% of the time, especially they win rounds, especially when they're defending. And so, I think at this point, Salt Esports has the advantage. They have the advantage in this overall matchup of now being the quote unquote underdogs. I mean, they're a fantastic team, obviously, but they need to come back from what just happened, and I think that's most likely going to motivate them.
And looking purely at these stats, the next 2 maps that we've got are Split and Bind, and Salt Esports seems to have better stats in both these maps. So if I'm in the Salt camp right now, that's what I'm showing my players. I'm saying, guys, we need to let that one go, brush it off, just brush it off. We got this because we got Bind and Split. That's basically our backyard, and we've got Reckoning Esports where we want them. And so just don't let this first map affect you. I know it was a big loss. It was a kind of a crushing defeat, if I'm being honest. But let's just look ahead and be positive.
Right. And for those of you watching right now who haven't been keeping track of our tournament or watching our live stream on our Discord as this tournament has been going on, the League Ego Challenger Series 2021, these 2 teams started out in a group of 32. And so what has had to happen? These two teams have had to face off at least two teams before this to get to the top 8, and so they have been playing, they have been going. And at this point, all the teams we have are talented now. All the teams in the top 8 they have a chance to win. And so it's no shock to me. It wouldn't be any shock to me if we end up seeing this go to a third round, just because, man, these teams are so good. And if you haven't been keeping up with this Challenger Series tournament, you can go to our social media, Instagram, Facebook, see it on what we've been posting on YouTube and on our reels and stuff like that. See some highlights. This tournament has started November 15th. It's been going just under a month now, and our finals will be December 11th, the night of December 11th, where we'll see the top 2 teams out of 32 face off in our end of the year Challenger Series tournament. So it's going to be huge. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube or joined our Discord, do all of those things. The links are in the description below this video, because we don't want you guys to miss that. We don't want you to miss the finals. We don't want you to miss any exciting action that this tournament is going to hold all the way up to the night of the finals. So go ahead and press all those.
Save that date, folks. December 11th, as Tyler rightly mentioned. Save that date, because it is going to be lit. I mean, Tyler, you talked about the teams that exited this tournament, man. I mean, I have to say, M42 Esports, I was really counting on them to do well. VLT Asteria, I was really hoping that we'll see something from them as well. But yeah, I mean,
so many good teams didn't make it to the top 8, and so that tells me the top 8 is so good.
Exactly, and heyo, it looks like we are more or less all set to get going. We are on Agent Select, and this is split. Tyler, I'm going to walk us through this Agent Select real quick.
Please do.
Paddox is going to be on the Omen. It's been a while since I've seen an Omen pick on split. Lucia
Omen is my main, and so I'm going to be watching Paddox like a hawk here.
Let's go. Lucia is going to be on the Cypher. Ayan once again on the Jet. No arguments there whatsoever.
Nope.
Bond F is going to be on the Raze. I think an essential pick for a map like Split. Trist is going to be on the Sage on the side of Salt Esports. But Sahab's going to be on the Sage. We've got Jivix on the Raze. Interesting one there. He was on the Killjoy in the previous round, and now it looks like Beast is going to be on the Killjoy. So very, very excited for that. And Darky is going to be on the Astra once again, and Stranger looks like he's going to switch over from the Sova onto the Sky.
You know, maybe that's what it's going to take for them, just to say, hey, maybe we just need to switch up who we're playing. You need to be on this agent, you need to be on this agent, and that's going to give us some success here.
Agreed. It looks like it's going to be a YOLO B-sided push from Salt Esports, at least on the way they've positioned themselves.
Right now goes, yeah.
YOLO is right. Jivix is in the mood. Double satcheling onto side. He is searching for Paddox here.
Oh, took him out in the blind.
Ayan gets a pick as well.
Let's see what ends up happening.
Beast is walking. He has walked out and he has lost the spike, and now it is down to just the last player.
1, 2.
What?
Top.
Hang on, get that. No.
Oh man, it was so close. So many.
It was. It really was.
So many missed shots there, which doesn't say anything about their talent. It's just, the anticipation of a kill was so high right there.
I like the energy, I like the attitude, but we need to connect those headshots. I loved the way Jivix double sattled onto side. He went after Paddox, and Paddox, they're getting a very lucky classic right. Like, he was fully flashed, and then afterwards I saw a sneaky play from Beast as well, trying to lurk onto B side and sneak a kill, but it just wasn't to be. Reckoning Esports off the mark, 1-0. Early Sage wall here coming in from Reckoning Esports. A full buy round for them. And Salt Esports is going to be on an eco, but Sahib has backed himself with a Sheriff.
Looks like a lot mid right now, but I think they're trying to make the decision of whether or not they want to rotate over to A or continue with this B push, but it looks like Reckoning Esports isn't falling for it. And it looks, I'm thinking they are probably going to make that rotation, but it's so hard to tell.
It is. I mean, there's not a lot that Salt Esports can do this round. Honestly, looking at the buys from them, they've got literally nothing on there that can help them apart from Butt Sahib's Sheriff. And
Right.
just trying to put it to work there, but he needs to land that headshot. And I think Reckoning is way too smart. They're just not going to peek this because they know that
Nope, they're going to wait for you to push, and they're going to punish you for any mistake that you make.
And Beast has managed to find himself on A side. Somehow Lucia will pick him off.
All right, Jivix is coming
30
up in
seconds left.
B side. Oh, taken out quick by Iron Q. And now there's this huge push coming in. But Sahab able to take one out, but it's not enough. Gets taken out right away.
Second round on the board, and without was that a flawless round? I didn't quite catch that. I think it was. I think it was a flawless round.
I think it may have been.
Yeah. 2-0 on the scoreboard. And Salt Esports now, this is a big round for them, a full buy. They need to make this one work. Probably going to take it slow, search for a pick or two. They want to, move the odds in their favor, as it were. And then probably commit to side only after that. A lot of presence in mid early on. Jivix. Oh, wait a minute. Jivix?
In mid. Bond able to take one out, but gets taken out right away himself. Triss setting up the wall. That's one thing that I wanted to talk about is Sage on this map is such a great addition just because she can wall off the map in half basically and force the other team to either take down part of her wall and give up their location or have to go around. It looks like they've chosen to go around.
That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Cypher has one camera set up and 2 traps, and it's possible if Salt doesn't see one of his traps that they're going to run into it. It looks like they just triggered his trap. He knows they're there now, and they're going to be fighting over there. Now Reckoning knows where they're at, and they're going to be rotating.
This is an important
Salt
round here. This
not
is
planting yet.
I mean, honestly, Salt needs to win this somehow. They need to figure
They
this
do.
one out.
The plant's coming in.
Spike planted.
There it is. But Sahab most likely going to be the first one to encounter Reckoning. He knows they're right around the corner.
Right. He does.
Okay, Omen. Blinding.
Show me what you got, Omen.
1. Able to take 2 out.
Remaining. Last player
Omen coming in
standing.
strong with, he's going to fake the defuse. Oh, he's going to get
gonna
peeked,
try to
and he doesn't get the defuse. And there's one on the board for Salt Esports. They needed that one.
They needed that one for sure. Sigh of relief in the dugout of Salt Esports, the first round on the board. What was happening there with Paddox? Was he hoping to stick half maybe, and then sort of figure it out from there? Wasn't the move?
I think the whole pros don't fake kind of is what killed him there. He should have faked.
Totally.
most likely.
Totally.
All right, Astra setting up some utility, trying to get some sort of control on the map. Just divided the map. Used her ultimate. They're going A very strong right now.
Jivix here with that shotgun. He's looking at some interesting race plays. I'm gonna follow this guy for a bit because if he gets a couple of picks here onto a couple of RGE players, this could be huge.
Oh, what a great sneak into this corner here. But Sahab just sage walled that off, so they definitely have time to get a plant in. And it looks like Bond on the kill on the raids is in a good spot to maybe take out 2 of them. We'll see if Stranger's able to do something here. But he also has the Astra right behind him. I don't know if he knows. No, he doesn't.
Enemy
Oops. He just walked past him while he was blinded. Last player in CT as well. This may well just be a second round for Salt Esports.
I'm getting chased. Has no idea.
He's done a
And
good
it
job.
looks-
He's done a good job. Yeah, he's gonna save this. He's gonna save that gun.
Yep.
But hang on.
Hunting him down, though, they may come
Darky.
after him. There he is. Oh, he takes out 1. It's not going to matter for the round, but it is going to matter for their eco.
they want to hunt him down. They want to absolutely hunt him down.
Good teleport on his part. I think yep. He's going to get away.
He is. Even Stevens, something we haven't said this whole match so far.
Feeling good.
I think Salt Esports doing well there. I think they just went back to the dugout. They told themselves, "Hey, guys, we're one of the best teams in South Asia. Let's just get out there and be ourselves." And I think
let's freaking be who we are.
Yeah, that's more like it. But Reckoning Esports quick with the timeouts. Have you noticed, Tyler? Every time in this match, they've been so tactically brilliant. Whenever they start to see a momentum shift, they call for a timeout. And I think that's so much more than just discussing strats, but it's just because they want to break that rhythm. And I think that's brilliant. That's great thinking on their side.
It is. If Reckoning Esports has done anything correctly, which they've done a lot, but if they've done anything correctly this entire time, the previous match and this one, it's the mind game. They're playing smart, and they're not going to let themselves be reckless.
Agreed. And it's going to be a tough round for them coming up now because they don't have the eco for a full buy. Now, that's an interesting one because Paddox has saved his Vandal from the last round. So, the rest of his team aren't going to be in a position to buy anything. So, they're going to go in for like the sneaky buys, maybe a Sheriff, maybe a Marshal here and there. And you have to back Salt to pick up this round as well. Now, Paddox's Vandal, it needs to get 2 or 3 picks in order for it to make it work for RGE. And hang on, Jivix here. Ooh, Paddox gets one.
Going strong.
Instant Sage revive.
Heaven takes them out. Huge A push right now.
Complete.
They are playing so aggressive. Trist is coming in, doesn't check the corner, and Jivix is able to take him out. High on Q with his ultimate ready to see if he can do some damage here. Jivix is
face
to town with that shotgun. Wow.
Honestly, this
round from Salt, mostly due because of Jivix just going off.
Much overdue, Tyler. Honestly, that's what I'll say. Much overdue. Like, where have you guys been? 3-2 on the scoreboard. Salt Esports finally showing up on Split. And hey, the stats don't lie, Tyler. We talked about this. Split looks like a good map for Salt Esports. Honestly, Bind looks like a good map for Salt Esports. So hey, we're gonna have to wait and see how Reckoning is going to respond to this.
Yeah, this is nowhere near over, and Reckoning is definitely expecting them. Yep. Definitely expecting a full push A. And he's getting out of there, but he's going to find more problems upstairs than he did downstairs almost. But he's able to sneak by Jivix and still doesn't get it.
Well, Lucia does get a pick back, and Beast goes down.
Paddox doesn't know that Jivix is behind him, but Jivix didn't know Paddox was there.
Wow. Okay. It is down to just Darky. Gets one onto Trist. It's a 1 versus 2 now.
Too many. There's too many. Yep. It was too many. Just wasn't the best position to be in there.
You know, I did get the feeling that Salt Esports was starting to be in control of that round, but Reckoning Esports once again doing brilliantly to recover from a bad position.
Right. Again, they're playing smart. They're playing smart, and as good as Salt Esports is, they have to know that as you can be super aggressive, and I think that's how they want to play. But once you begin to be too aggressive, you get kind of trapped like that. So let's see how they play this round. But it looks like strong A push
once again.
Jivix with the ultimate, able to take out one. Can he get this Cypher?
Oh, he does! While he was stuck in the trap. He's down to 3 HP, Tyler, this man.
Let's see what he does here. Gets taken out. That wasn't to be unexpected. But still, it's a 3v3, now a 3v2.
Player standing.
Wow.
Paddox all by his lonesome.
Esports, it's all down to Paddox. It takes out one. Let's see what he can do. Can he confuse them with Omen's abilities?
Now Stranger's 1 HP.
This is shift.
Stranger's 1 HP here, Tyler.
So it's very possible. Isn't able to.
He doesn't! No!
Get it. Look at that with the fake teleport. Confuses them just enough to be able to kid him out and get the defuse.
And that's
so good.
That is some next level spray transfer right there. And I mean, he was lucky. He was lucky that the Sky was 1 HP. Stranger was 1 HP, and he just had to land one shot on him after he finished spraying down. I believe it was. I think it was Beast in the end. But
Yeah, it was the perfect situation. Just low enough HP to be able to get like one bullet in him and then transfer right over and take out. Yeah, I think it was Beast. But man, that's why I love Omen. He can confuse everyone so much. And once again, huge A push coming in from Salt Esports.
it's going to be held this time, however, by Ion. And there's no operator yet in play, Tyler. Interesting here.
No operator yet. I'm expecting at some point, if Ion's able to really get this going, for him to get the operator. But lockdown coming in, and here it is. Reckoning able to avoid it, but that has given Salt Esports time to take over at A side.
Yeah, the plan's going to go down here.
Setting up Sage wall, I mean everything. They got it locked down right now.
Take a look at Darky. Darky is just waiting. Darky's gonna now walk his way through.
He's going it.
Whence?
And if he can be quiet enough, he's gonna be able to take him. Oh, my camera's on Darky right now.
This could be huge.
To see. He has to be careful. Just look to your right. Look to your right.
No.
Look behind you. No. Yeah, he's gonna take out. Oh, the Sage gets taken out. Takes out the Omen.
It's down to just Ion.
Let's see what Ion Q can do. He's not able to do it. Darky does it, and it's all tied up once again.
This one's gonna go down to the wire. It does look like 4-4 on the scoreboard. Is this a good time, Tyler, to bring up the magic number for split?
Oh, here it is.
The magic number. Now let's get the basics out of the way. Split is probably the most defender-sided map in this game, and it's just the way it is. It's the way the map's been designed. It's the way defenders play. And as an attacking team, honestly, this is just from my experience of playing Split. If I get 4 rounds in the first half and I'm attacking first, I'm telling my team that the game's not over. Honestly, because I have won Split games in the second half after just taking 4 rounds in the first half. It has happened many times, and that just it's because of how defensive this map is. And so honestly, for Salt Esports right now, I think they'll be pretty happy with themselves so far with what they've achieved.
Right, and for them to have for them to be tied up on a defender-sided map, it's just great. I mean, they're playing this really well. Omen Ultimates, and it looked like it was going to be a B push, but everyone's rotating to A. No one's tricked here.
And Beast
I don't know
here.
what Trist was doing on that Sage, but gets taken out.
And
Cypher
Jivix
gets
now
taken
with the
out.
pinch from behind with that shotgun. It is down to just the last 2 players here, Bond F and Paddox.
Alex has
Player standing.
gets taken out right around the corner, and it really is down to Bond, and he just gets spied up in heaven. And there it is, man. Magic number for Salt Esports.
Surpassed.
They're doing great.
Surpassed, actually. I mean, if I've got 5 rounds in the bag, I'm like, hey, we're taking this map home. We're taking Reckoning Esports need to find the breaks here. They need to find the pause button on Salt Esports. Reckoning Esports, I just want to go back. It was an eco round for them, so I think the plays that they were doing there were just because of the guns that they had. And Beast did an incredible job of lurking onto A site as his teammates sort of faked on B. And
He did. Look at this.
this is going to be the end for Paddox. It is the end for Paddox.
It's just destroyed.
Dude, Jivix is feeling himself tonight.
He is, man, and we kind of saw that in the last map too. I mean, he was one of their clutchest players. But man, Salt Esports just playing so strong.
Ion does have the operator though.
He just saw that. So let's see what he can do. What a skin on that operator too. That's sexy.
Player standing.
Wow! Reckoning Esports.
How did they do this? Okay. No. Wow. How did they do it?
I don't know. That was such a well coordinated retake on B side. A couple of players dropping down from heaven, getting that pick onto the person who was camping out in hell, and then from there on the gunfights just going their way. And I think Daki had too much to do himself all the way, all by himself in the end. 5-5 on the scoreboard. Even Stevens, if I've ever seen one.
Wow. And this is the type of matchup that I think we were expecting and hoping.
Yeah.
So
This is more like it.
Right.
Full buys from both teams, and once again, Jivix with that operator. This man, he
Big mid
sees and feels no fear. Look at him. Look at him go. He's got his shotgun now holding out in vents. He just satchels his way onto side. And now, Bond, you don't want to peek that, my friend. You do not want to peek that.
Friend.
Back it up.
Big mid push, and Reckoning Esports went from 4 ultimates. They were at 2, but it looks like IonQ just got her ultimate or his ultimate for Jet. So I don't know when they'll pop those off, but man.
Salt have lost a player. Beast is down, so it's a 4 versus 5. So they're just trying to make sure that this next decision from them has to be spot on. 3 players rotating silently through the sewers. Now outside of A, Ayan has their number though.
Get met by IonQ.
He has the number. Gets traded. Ooh, that could have been so much worse for Salt Esports. That could have been so much, because Ayan could have destroyed 2 or 3 players there.
He could have, but not able to.
30 seconds left.
And they're picking him off. It's 3v3, but it's hard to tell who's in control. Really quick rotation over to B.
Really quick. And look
Reckoning's
at
gonna pick up on it, but are they gonna get there fast enough with the Sage Wall and all that?
Jivix's position, Tyler. He is pushing the CT side with that judge. He does not want them to have any access to this part of the map.
No, he doesn't, and they're not gonna get it either.
Ooh, another useful revive coming in from Trist here, and now it is down to just Jivix. 1 versus 2.
And oh man, there was a revive that happened there, but quickly shut down. And Jivix here we go with the judge. What is he able to do? They're gonna go in for the defuse. He's not gonna fake. Cypher's gonna protect. Doesn't have the range, and they're able to get it with the defuse.
Reckoning Esports, I mean, the read of their plays was like they got read like a book. They
did.
Salt Esports right there. Reckoning doing brilliantly. Ayan getting that important pick with the operator, albeit does get traded out, but more importantly, the information about the rotation back to B side was on point. And Jivix, as much as he tried, it just wasn't enough.
Right, and it looks like Salt Esports is gonna try and, from what I'm seeing, they're gonna cause a lot of noise at A and make Reckoning think that they're over there, and then just do a quick B. But I don't think Reckoning's gonna fall for it.
We'll have to wait and see. It looks like there is a technical pause. I'm gonna take a quick look at the scoreboard, Tyler. It looks like this.
I'm not sure. Do we have? Okay. Go ahead.
So we've got Trist and 11 and 9 on the Sage. I think he's done pretty well in mid for Reckoning Esports, not losing control too often. Lucia and Paddock's doing well. We saw Paddock's with a couple of interesting plays. Lucia looks like he's feeling himself. Ayan always with those 9 kills. He's got the operator in his hands as well. So Reckoning Esports should be feeling good about themselves in this round. And I say that because on the side of Salt Esports, a couple of players are going to be coming in with Sheriffs this round. And Jivix is going to be one of those players. Now he does have the showstopper as an option, and make no mistake, the minute this round kicks off, you're gonna hear the voice line, "Here comes the party," and Jivix is gonna be double satcheling down this A side, searching for Paddocks. Mark my words, but it's gonna happen. You know it. There's no other play.
Well, we're gonna keep our eyes on him
for sure,
just to see if he does here.
No, a slower approach looks like. And the commitment.
Locking down.
The commitment. All right. So Beast committing the lockdown on A side. Now we can tell from the map that the spike isn't even with them. Ayan is gonna take down Jivix. That is huge. Because the showstopper has just been eliminated from this game. But take a look at the rest of Salt Esports. They are outside B with the spike, and Lucia knows that they're there, and he's actually back of sight.
Yep, and he gets shook by the dog, and we'll see. Oh wow, Bond able to take out their Sage, and
Stranger.
their Sage was blinded. Wow,
Doing well there. 3 versus 3. Still game on here. Still game on.
Yep, let's see what Bond can do here. He has a spy. Oh, but he gets taken out. Okay, so it looks like Ion Q and Paddocks are rotating over, and two strong agents coming over, and Ion Q's in the ultimate for Jet. So we'll see what
30
they can
seconds
do.
left.
And he's got the option of pulling out the ult as well. Just making sure no one's going to come in for that late flank is what Ion is doing right now in mid, because it can be so annoying. And working their way towards B main now. This could be interesting because now the turret is going to spot him out.
And they have time, but Beast for a minute didn't even think they would come from behind, but now knows that they're right next to him.
Ooh, Reckoning, Ion. What a right click that was.
Enemy remaining.
Gets another.
Last player standing.
Paddocks takes 2 out and is gonna get the
He's gonna get the defuse.
What a great push. Q got taken out, and Paddocks needs to make sure that he goes and picks up that operator real quick. But they're just the two of them are able to go and take control
Sides.
and win that round for Reckoning. What a great round.
Time and time again, Tyler, this map we have seen consistently from Reckoning Esports is clinical retakes. They've been doing it so well. And I mean, the way they communicate, Ion and Paddocks right there, I thought honestly in the beginning of that retake that both of them shouldn't have made their presence felt in B main, and maybe they could have caught Beast off guard, but hey, in the end, it didn't even matter, honestly. Ion just walking in there with his Blade Storm, throwing those knives into Beast's face, and those follow-up kills.
It was a risk.
It was a risk, and Paddocks was there, and I think that's what separates the good teams from the great teams, because these guys know how to play well together. They know how to win rounds, and at halftime, because of that, we're looking at a scoreline of 7-5. Now, don't get me wrong, Beast should be happy with 5 rounds, all right? Because this is a heavily defender-sided map. But hang on, a couple of kills going down in mid, and Reckoning Esports pulling 2 back. A 5 versus 3 situation now. Full control.
Darky and Astro, he may encounter some people here.
Ion gets
all of
a
a sudden,
third.
there's no one to defend A. There's no one to defend A, so Reckoning's just going to make their way in this pistol round, and they're going to start planting here just in a second.
Now surely a 4. What?
What?
He just got a util kill with a swarm grenade.
That was confusing. But Beast right now is just not able to take out 2.
Lucia.
And the attackers win.
Lucia
that was
win.
hard. That was a hard one.
Now 7-5 at halftime. I was just saying that Salt Esports don't need to get be too worried about it, because this is a defender-sided map, and just as those words left my mouth, Tyler, Reckoning sort of bludgeoned through that mid, getting 3 picks, making it a 5 versus 2 situation. Reckoning Esports have been so impressive tonight.
Oh man, I don't want to say anything too early, but it's just the feeling that I have that Reckoning Esports is just not going to give this up. They're going to be the ones to take this home and move on to the semifinals. I don't want to say it too early.
I don't want to say it either, but it does look like, I mean, just take a look at the gunfights. They got 4 players with 12 kills already. And Beast here is flirting with the idea of pushing. No, Beast. No, that was not the move when Lucia had his
Don't
number.
do that.
What a peak. And A-side now. A-side is fully
That was
available.
hard.
Just to draw some context.
Right.
It's a full eco round for Salt Esports, right? So I think it's taken for granted that they will lose this round. It's going to be a 9-5 scoreline at the end of it, and then they're going to come in with full buys. And from that point on, Salt Esports needs to lock down. Yeah, they need to lock down that defense starting next round. In this round, my advice, I mean, this is what I'm telling my players if I'm the Salt Esports coach, is get as many guns out from their hands as possible and hurt their economy for the long run, for the long, that's how you play the long game in this round.
And what's hard is Jivix right now, it's just not able to handle the pressure from Reckoning Esports, and you're definitely seeing, there it is. What you just saw there, folks, is exactly what Grizzly was talking about. Just the difference in the guns that they had. and it was just too much. The pressure was too high. But now, like Grizzly was saying, full buys from Salt Esports, and I'm anticipating full buys also from Reckoning, but they're still holding on to their Spectres and not spending anything. So I'm interested to see what they do here.
I mean, I guess what they're thinking at this point is that, hey, look at our economies. We don't need to buy guns this round because we already have SMGs. And then no matter what happens in this round, next round is a guaranteed full buy for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they're eco. They're just playing so smart. They're
Right,
playing
right.
so smart.
And
still
making it
able to
work.
take
I'm making it work. Oh my gosh. 2 more kills. Jivix finally gets the trade onto Paddox. Can he get a second? Trist will take down Butt Sahib. That's a Sage Def moment right there.
He's back with the Cypher, but he still gets him. Gets taken out by IonQ. Let's see what Trist can do. Okay, Darky on the Astra.
Gets one down, but he's down to 21 HP, Tyler.
21 HP. He just needs to be tapped. Someone just needs to walk really close to him and he's gonna die. So we'll just see if he can do this. Luckily he has some utility. He's gonna pull him in and see if he can grab him. Yep. They're just not there, and they knew. They could hear the audio cues as he was coming around the corner, and that was a big round.
This was a big round. I was just gonna say the same. That was a big round because they just won, quote unquote, what we would call a bonus round because they were bonusing on their SMGs. They did not go in for the investment. And now, Tyler, take a look at the economies for a second. Take a look at that economy. Salt Esports.
Wow.
They need a loan.
Yeah, and now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Reckoning Esports, if Salt Esports takes this round, good. They need it, but Reckoning Esports is just going to come right back with full buys.
Absolutely. And make no mistake, the AWP is going to be out there as well soon.
It is. I'm surprised it's not out there this round, but I'm anticipating seeing it next round. And at that point, it's going to be really hard for Salt Esports and all of you Salt Esport fans out there. It's going to be hard to really feel like you can win this one, but we'll see.
Reckoning here, continuing to inflict the damage, getting the first pick. Trist. A couple of Sage Diff moments right here already early on, Tyler, in the last round, but Sahib getting taken down. Honestly, Ayan once again has been the standout player for Reckoning Esports. Lucia.
Oh,
Gets
Lucia just taking out Darky, and Batsahab is
Nice
Batsahab is able to take him out.
Nice peek from Batsahab. Gets a gun as well, so that's helpful.
Yep. And let's see, they're all aware. They're all aware that the play now is to be made at A.
Yeah.
And IonQ's taking it. A good Sage wall going up just to block off that hallway. And really, Salt Esports, their only path at this point is heaven.
Yeah. And Stranger doing well here to heal up Batsahab, both the healers in the end alive, Sky and Sage.
Right.
2 versus 4 though. Not looking good for them.
Let's see, as they just kind of assess what's going on. They're going to rotate around. So technically, he's not looking to his left. Wasn't expecting Paddox to be there with the Omen. Sage across, still has to watch their back. Paddox with great coverage there and able to just take him out.
Reckoning Esports have been so impressive. Another round in the bag. 11-5.
Can you feel it?
I can feel it, man.
Feel it coming?
I can feel it, but I'm cursed. You know, I don't want to say anything because whatever I say,
golden tongue right now, and I'm just feeling it. I felt this when it was 8-5, and now it's 11-5, and I just Well,
I'll tell you what, the chat's calling it. The chat's calling it already. They're saying Reckoning is going to go and secure that semi-final slot in the Challenger Series. This is huge.
It's just been hard. You know, Salt Esports is so good, but just watching these two maps has been... there's no guessing. There's no guessing game to be played. It's just Reckoning Esports is playing. They're playing better.
Just better. That's what I was going to say. They're just better today, man.
Yeah, they are. And I hate to say it because Salt's so good, but they're winning gunfights. They're not making.
Yeah.
They're not. They're playing smart. You know, they're not being too aggressive, but they're able to just pull through.
Couple of picks
Jivix
once
right
again.
now is about to take all of them and just not able to do it. Paddox takes them down quickly.
This is a full buy, Tyler. This was a full buy from Salt Esports, and to see them once again in a 2 versus 5 situation with these two players, Stranger and Beast, they have no choice. They gotta save because they got no money.
They have to save. It was either save or take down all 5. And from what we've seen the past 2 maps, taking down all 5 was just not an option.
This does mean that they're gonna be against the ropes, as it were, match point coming up in the next round. And make no mistake, Reckoning Esports aren't gonna let them save that easily. Look at Lucia; he's already on his way to A site to search.
They do have time. It's not a lot, but they do have time. And let's see if Lucia can just peek around this corner and just see one of them. Oh, nope, not able to do it.
I think they'll survive for now.
That's okay. So going into match point, Salt's gonna have 2 guns. Oh, I can feel it.
The buy is not too bad, honestly, because they've managed to afford 4.
I mean, 4 Vandals and a Spectre is pretty good. They don't have full shields. Only Salt Stranger and Salt Beast have full shields. But this is still doable. They're not out yet.
They're not out yet. This match is not over, but if I was a betting man, though, Tyler, if I was a betting man, my bet's going to be on Team Reckoning.
Yep, and here they come. We might see some action here at mid, possibly if Jivix just checks around this corner, but he's gonna play it safe and back it up. But they really want him to peek, though. They really want him to peek, and he just might.
No, Lucia
He's playing with it. Yeah, Lucia is just playing with him now. It feels like. Oh, and Jivix is just sitting there waiting for him. He's going to make them feel comfortable and hopefully be able to take out a few of them here. See what he does.
Jivix is in a sneaky little position. Oh, yeah, I'm just noticing that now.
They don't check. He's able to take out 2 of them, and the Sage is on the other side of the wall. Gets... Oh,
Rookie.
Wasn't able to get the 3rd, but cleanly takes out 2 of them.
Honestly,
Still has 85 health.
Rookie mistake not checking that corner. Honestly, I mean,
and that was Jivix's play the whole time, just to make them feel comfortable enough that it's like, oh, of course no one's there. Psych.
and RGE doing well though, picking up 2 picks in exchange, so effectively trading out everything good that Jivix did in mid.
Lucia right now.
Oh, are you kidding me right now?
It doesn't check the side. Oh, some rookie mistakes happening, but that's... Oh, man. Okay.
So this was 2 versus 2. Now, this is anyone's game. Is this game over, folks?
Comes down to this. I'm watching IonQ. I just need to see. Doesn't get blinded. Turns around. Gets both of them. And there it is. There it is. I have to turn off my camera real quick because it's freaking out. But there is the match. Right there, Reckoning Esports.
What a map. What a match we just witnessed. I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, Tyler.
Oh, man.
This is... Reckoning Esports have shown up tonight. And they know what's up, right?
Wow.
IonQ 21 and 10. Unbelievable. I mean...
Look at that combat. Every stat for IonQ. 319 average combat score. 21, 10, and 4. Just fantastic matches from IonQ. I mean, if there's an MVP for these matchups, it's IonQ.
Oh, hands down. Oh, hands down. For sure. I mean, honestly,
Wow.
another interesting statistic for me on what we're looking at right now. Lucia on the Cypher has 5 first bloods. I mean, on the Cypher, if you're picking up more first bloods than your Jet, I mean, something's definitely working out for you guys. I mean, we have to give full credit to Reckoning Esports. Salt Esports are not a small team, folks. We just talked about how they
They-
finished 5th in VCC, but take a look at what Reckoning has just done to them. In a best of 3, we did not even reach the 3rd map, Tyler. Honestly, I'm surprised.
We didn't.
I'm surprised by this.
It was just, you felt it. You felt it when we played Ascent. You really did. That Reckoning Esports just, they had it in the bag. I mean, they won 13-3, but to come into this game and to have it so close, I mean, it was 4-4 at the start of it, and then they just pulled away, you could just feel it happening. And it's like I said, when it was 8-5, it was like, oh, I just have this feeling. Excuse me. I just have this feeling that they're gonna come in, and Salt's just not gonna win another round. And it's unfortunate because Salt's so good. Excuse me, but in the end, just weren't able to do it. Reckoning just showed up, and if they can keep this up, they're gonna get to the finals, and they may dominate then too.
I fully agree, and I've talked about this one thing before as well. But when you're a duelist and you're trying to help your team attack, and then you get shut down round after round after round, I mean, I feel like that's what Jivix was really struggling with, because he was trying hard. Some of his plays were brilliant, even in the first half. I think he was. I mean, can I just say, Jivix has been their standout player the first 2 maps. He's been, even on Ascent.
Absolutely,
he was so good. Even on Split, on the Rays. I mean, he has those. Take a look at those 4 first bloods for his team. So you have to argue that beyond a certain point, one does lose the motivation when you get shut down like that. I mean, I know the place that you can be in your mind.
Right.
You're like, whatever I do, this is just not working, because I get one tap the second, I get denied the second I see the enemy, boom, the headshot in my face. And I think that's a little bit of what happened with Jivix. And Tyler, interestingly, that's where a coach can come in handy. Someone can just come up next to you, put your arm around you, and be like, you know what, you're still one of the best. So back yourself. You might have lost 5 gun rounds in a row. You're probably going to win the 6th. The odds are in your favor, And I think that's probably what they needed. But hey, whatever we say about Salt Esports, Tyler, no credit can be taken away from Reckoning. They deserve this win.
Man,
they deserve that semi-final spot. And like you rightly said, if they continue putting on performances like this, folks, Reckoning might be one of the teams to look out for in this tournament.
They might be, and you're absolutely right about Jivix. I mean, he was Salt Esports star player tonight, but one's not enough, and yeah, your morale can go down quick, and just Reckoning Esports. I mean, we can't say enough about them for tonight's matchups. Like, they played smart, they played well, they won their gunfights, and overall, it was just fun. It was fun watching them,
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, they earned their spot in League Ego's Challenger Series semifinals for sure.
If we can talk to Tyler about this one play, this entire game that has probably impressed us the most, for me, it has to be the time that Paddox was in that 1v2 situation on A side. And I think it was Stranger who was like on 1 HP. That spray transfer was crisp. It was crispy.
There was so much going on that honestly that Paddox did right. With an Omen, you want to make sure that you're confusing your enemies, and so if you can use your C, if you could teleport and fake it and just stay in the same exact spot and make your enemies think that, oh, he's not where we thought he was anymore, and then you can come out and it just the stars aligned, the low health, the fake out, the confusion, and then you're right. The ability to just switch right over after you get that kill and have the spray control. It was perfect. It was such a great play.
I fully agree, folks. That was an amazing game. Let me just bring you guys up to speed if you're just tuning in. This is a 32 team knockout. The prize pool 1.5 lakhs, 150,000 rupees. The League Ego Challenger series is live and ongoing right now, folks. We're in the quarterfinals. We're done with 2 of them. The first team that have already we saw yesterday's game, Exili was playing against this other team, and we were really hoping for Exili to put on a good performance, but Weird Esports yesterday were just on a different level. Folks in the chat were pointing out that some of the best teams in South Asia are finding it challenging, Tyler, to play against teams that are not necessarily in the top tier of Indian teams, and I think that goes that says a lot about the talent that is in this region. You know, that it is so competitive, and this is a team. Exili is a team. You know, we talked about Salt finishing 5th in VCC. Exili finished 6th, so they're like right behind them.
They're not a bad team.
They're not a bad team at all, and Sami wasn't having the best day, and Weird Esports securing that first semi-final spot, and looks like the second semi-final spot has been secured by Reckoning Esports. Guys, if you're watching this, really well played. I think you guys deserve it. Salt Esports, if you guys are watching this, tough luck, but you're gonna bounce back, and I think you guys just need to believe in yourself.
Absolutely, and I mean that's the whole reason we wanted to do this tournament at the end of this year anyway. The Challenger Series, pros versus underdogs. We wanted to give teams that aren't as big the chance to show like, hey, we belong here too. And you know, matches like last night is proof of that. And Reckoning Esports is by no means a small team, but coming in here and beating Salt Esports is a huge victory. And so with 2 of those semifinal spots secured, yeah, I'm looking forward to the matches in the next few days just to see who's able to secure the rest, and the matchups that we have coming forward.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm actually friends with one of the owners of Reckoning Esports, Karan. He's a great guy, and I'm sure he'll be thrilled with this performance. And I mean, honestly, if Reckoning continues playing like this, I'm gonna see Karan smiling a lot more. Tyler, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
But folks, that pretty much brings tonight's broadcast to an end. Tyler, it has been a pleasure having you here, man. Thank you so much for making the time, making your debut in casting. I honestly, it was just right. It was a lot of fun, and I think I have you on. I have you on for a couple of more. I think I have you on till the end.
A few more. I can't remember which ones I'm on right now, but yeah, I'm looking forward to coming on again and being able to watch some of these teams really duke it out, especially here at the end. As I mean, the matchups are just going to be so good. So. Yeah, this was awesome. This was fun, and I've really enjoyed myself here. So I'm looking forward to doing it some more.
Awesome, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe to this YouTube channel. What are you doing with your life? I'm kidding. Just do it right now, okay? I won't be mad. I promise. And if you haven't followed us on Instagram, make sure to do that. The links are in the description. Join our Discord server. We're a growing community, and we're doing everything we can from our side to help the Indian esports ecosystem. We conduct tournaments in the US as well, and Tyler does a great job of conducting those. And we have tournaments in India, as you guys are obviously aware. And we really want to just jump in and fill the voids, in the esports ecosystem in India, and do what we can to give everyone a chance at some of these nice prize pools, and also give you guys a platform to come and show yourselves, show your talent and who you guys and show what you guys are really made of. So make sure you guys support us, follow us on Instagram. Tyler mentioned that we drop reels every other day and some fun highlights of all the games, so make sure you guys are tuned into that. On your way out, make sure to enjoy this a little fun interview. I had a chance to interview Strokey and Shreya. I'm going to preview it for you guys. It's not yet out on YouTube, but I'm going to preview it for you guys just because you guys are here. So with that, I will bid thee farewell. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Tyler, it was really nice having you. You have a good rest of the day, my friend, and
peace out.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if Kakoti says you guys are here to change the scene and fill the voids. Let's go. Am I right, Lenny? That's what we're about.
Bro,
that's what we're about.
100%, okay? Listen, 3 years ago you talked about a toxic environment. Like, we're not talking about toxic, right? Like, that's in the past, right? Just that, like I talked about, like, making mistakes, learning from it, doing it better. Well, you know what? We're going to do it better, right? You show up, you just walk with us, because we're walking with you.
Axel is on the wraparound here. Gets the first pick on Sway. Mindfuck, what are you doing? we know who Shreya is. Okay, you're the 100 ping monster from Australia. That's what people call you. Okay?
I've been playing Valorant since the beta days, had a lot of experience in CSGO as well, played that semi-professionally in India as well as in Australia.
Next question. Any thoughts on Chamber?
I think Chamber is going to be very interesting for the crackhead sentinel aimers like myself. I think that playing Killjoy, playing Cypher has been a little bit done.
What would you say is your message to these kids, like these aspiring young kids in the scene who want to make it big in esports?
And I get it. You know, I know that school sucks. I know that parents are annoying. They tell you to go to sleep early. They tell you to eat on time, even though you're in a ranked game. But keep this in mind that the sooner you get that done with, the happier you'll be. And for Indian parents, it was very tough for me as well. I mean, I still to this very date. I mean, I'm now 19. Pursuing this passion of mine, and I'm getting paid well for it, but my mom still is gonna come from behind, hit me on the head and be like, go to bed, it's enough of a game, close it, no more. Hi, my name is Shreya from VLT Asteria. We are participating in the League Ego Challenger Series 2021. Please come and support us. Live stream will start on December 1st. You better be.
It's all about the attitude.
This next guest of mine needs no introduction. Two-time League Ego champion. I would say the best, one of the best teams in India right now. Please put your hands together, folks, for Strokey from Team Valor. What's up, my man? How are you doing?
Good, Grizzly. How about you?
How's the journey been for you with Valor so far?
So Valor, so to be open and clear with you, Valor is nothing but a group of friends playing together for fun. Team Valor is something when we don't make any structure or anything. It just on the day, it depends on the day for us. So if the day is good, we win. If the day is bad, we lose.
Good one. How important do you think are relationships with teammates? And do you think it's possible to play competitively with people you don't necessarily get along?
You need to have a good bond with the person you're playing with.
Right.
So good bond means good understanding.
Any team from the League Ego Challenger series that you're looking forward particularly to playing against?
Will be, I think, Cohesion,
Right.
Fangs, FS,
FS?
and WeirdX. Yeah, and WeirdX.
Right.
Because WeirdX has a pawn in them.
Who is
Pixel.
that? Oh, Pixel has moved to Weird. That's right.
WeirdX, yeah.
If you had to take an agent out from Valorant on a date, which agent would that be?
Reyna is pretty rough.
Very nice.
Viper is toxic.
Viper is
Yeah,
toxic.
Viper is toxic. And Jet is pretty fast.
Jet is too fast.
Yeah. So yeah, Sage, the calm, composed person. Yeah, healing us in times of bad times. Yeah, I will take out her on a date.
All right, guys.
And yeah,
Shreya, you have competition for Sage.
I'm Strokey from Team Valor. We are participating in League Ego Championship 2021. Live streaming will start from December 1st. Please tune in and support us. Thank you.
I don't know if
listen.
Kakoti says you guys are here to change the scene and fill the voids. Let's go. Is that, am I right, Lenny? That's what we're about.
Bro.
That's what we're about.
100%. Okay, listen. 3 years ago, you talked about a toxic environment. Like, we're not talking about toxic, right? Like, that's in the past,
Right.
right? Just that, like I talked about, like making mistakes, learning from it, doing it better. Well, you know what? We're gonna do it better, right? You show up.